Welcome back. You'll see we've had a delivery here in the studio. More about that in a few minutes. There's been a lot of talk lately, though, about big budget film productions bringing Hollywood-style glamour to our region. Films like The Girl with All the Gifts and Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One. But there's a huge amount of homegrown talent here too. Steve Green met up with Worcestershire duo Lawrence Donello and Fernando Maffei, who are hoping to raise the profile of Midland movie making with their new crime thriller Artichoke.
Lawrence, Fernando, no matter how great an idea for a film you have, there's obviously the cold production deal that has to go behind it, the financing, the distribution. Now, you're involved with Testarossa Productions, and that's collaborated with Fernando's Chili Rose Productions on this effort. Can you tell us a bit more about how you build up the business deal, get the finance together for it?
Okay, so in relation to the film that we've just produced, it was self-financed by myself. And through various different sources. It's very difficult to finance a film because you're looking for investors and people to put money and take a risk, and very few investors want to take that kind of risk. So we did the math and we decided that the best way was for us to try and find the money, make a micro budget feature, and that would give us a platform then to be able to go to other investors and say, look, we've tried and tested the model, we've done it, we've made a film, we've sold it, now will you give us the money to go make the next film?
Right, so you see this as essentially as not only a film project in its own right, but also a test case for making more and perhaps bigger films in the future.
Correct, yeah. I think they don't, nobody, because films cost so much money to get made, people underestimate how much it actually takes to get a feature film made, and the amount of money that goes in, and sometimes we're talking millions of pounds, from thousands to millions,
I mean, the prices on some of these, the budgets on some of these films is extraordinary. And you think you could make a lot of small films for that when they're spending so much money. You think with economies of scale, it would bring the price down.
Yeah, I think these films, what we've discovered is that investors like to spend big because the return is big. So the bigger the budget, the better chance you have of getting it financed. Obviously, the downfall is the more investors you need, or the bigger the stakes, and trying to find more money.
Now, of course, if it's a self-financed project, you're clearly going to be more conscious about where the money's going, and presumably you're keeping it as tight as possible. Do you find that helps with you creatively?
I've always been told, and obviously one of the things when Lawrence first met me, he said, whatever you do, don't write with budget in mind, just do it and then you make it work. Or, obviously you can't have flying cars and stuff like that because obviously the budget just gets bigger. But yeah, you always think about your budget, but you've got to try and just do it and not. I believe if you can get a job and work and get money from other sources and then pay that off, to get your sound done and editing done and stuff like that. I think that's the key is to finishing a project and having a I think you've got to have a relatively good understanding of what you want to achieve. And I think if you go out with a budget in mind, you complete a task. It's like a goal.
Well, even Spielberg started small. Maybe we'll be seeing your names stuck on the front of hoardings, perhaps even at the Oscars one day.
Thanks, Steve, and editor Chrissie for that. And good to say Artichoke is already attracting interest from potential distributors in the USA and will be launched at selected film festivals this summer.